I know you've had optimistic first episodes of the season from me before, but I genuinely think that this is the best squad of players I've assembled in this save so far this year. We've got the transfers. It's even better than the Plymouth team and even better than the Southend team. This is going to be a brilliant team. We're getting promoted this year. There you go. Calling it now. Premier League in one season's time. Hello and welcome to Season 15, Part 1 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have all our pre-season comings and goings, plus our first game of our new Championship season away against Brentford. But we need to get straight into these transfers because it has been a busy summer. As you can see from down at the bottom here, we've done it Kev style. We're over the wage budget, only slightly, only £5,000 a week over the wage budget, and we've not spent a penny on transfers. So I have tried to be smart with it. There has been one big-ish money deal leaving the club. It's certainly not someone we wanted to see go, but we've had to say goodbye to Tony Miller. He handed in a transfer request. Look, he's wearing the number 10 at Hamilton as well. It wasn't just me who was weird. He basically said he wanted to go to Hamilton, and I said, well, I'd really rather you stayed. He got in a huff, handed in a transfer request. They came in and offered over £1 million when he was only worth £500,000. And then I saw who the management team was at Hamilton, and I just couldn't say no to them. I know I appointed George Boyd as director of football, but Craig McCall-Smith, one of the other two of the three who made up the Holy Trinity at Posh years ago, with those two plus Aaron McLean. It's a team with two of my absolute heroes and two of the nicest men I've ever met. But Craig McCall-Smith is manager, George Boyd is director of football. If they decide they want Tony Miller, they can have Tony Miller. So he had to go. So we are right back short, and we're really struggling to replace him. We've got some decent youngsters coming in, but it's a problem area. In addition to him, Aaron Cool left the club. He's gone to Exeter just because there was going to be no space in the midfield for him this year. We knew early on that he was going to be going, so he's departed. We also sold Adrian Jankowski, who was the Canadian midfielder we signed last summer, who didn't really do anything. And then there was quite a lot of loan players who've left, including piece of business I'm particularly proud of, Ed Quine. We've signed him this summer. He's a 23-year-old central midfielder who's coming on a free transfer from Manchester City. He's going to be brilliant. He's 2.5-star current ability, 4.5 full yellow stars of potential ability. He would have been a bench warmer for us this season. He wouldn't quite been good enough to get in the team, but I would have been happy to keep him around. He's going to be a Premier League central midfielder one day. But we've signed him for a free transfer, and Charlton have immediately given us £500,000 to have him on loan for a year. That's how good he is. So he's going to go and play there for a year. We get £500,000. We can recall him at Christmas if he's absolutely brilliant. I've made sure there's an option to recall. But it just seems like a perfect move for everybody. He gets a club who are going places. We're going to go to the Premier League. He's going to be a Premier League midfielder for us. In the meantime, he's going to go and get games playing for Charlton, and we get a pile of cash. It's win. I'm really happy with that as a piece of business. If it had been the only transfer I did all summer, I'd have been patting myself on the back. But as it is, I think we've had a brilliant summer of players coming in. There was some free transfers left as well, but we don't need to worry about any of them lot. So, the signings. We'll go through them fairly quickly because there's a lot of them as usual. Usmani Kamara. Probably said both parts of his name wrong, but he's a potential right-back replacement, although he's another one who's come in and gone straight out on loan. He's a 20-year-old French right-back who's got 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's come in on a free transfer from Nice and gone out on loan back to France for a team I'm not even going to try and pronounce, and we'll have a look at it. Look at him in a year's time to see if he has improved. Luke Williams, the left-back we had on loan last year, has now signed permanently on a free transfer. He's still only 27. Still very good for our level of football. Very happy to have him involved. Remember, he's signed from a Premier League team on a free transfer. We were happy when we got him on loan last year. We're really happy to have him permanently now. Even happier to have signed Tommy Duxbury permanently. He's been on loan with us for the last 2 years. He's now come in on a permanent basis, still only 22. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential, already valued at over £2 million. And he was one of our players of last year. He was excellent the last time we were in the Championship. He's only going to get better. Again, another really top quality signing. Got to keep the dream alive. He's never going to get anywhere near the team, but he's still only 29. Lee Hartley comes in from Plymouth. We've got to I have to have the chance to make this fairy tale happen. Remember, if you're new to the series, the fairy tale basically is he is non-Leeds Legends version of Jamie Vardy, because he has played in every league in England apart from the Premier League. He started out in the Conference South, went up to League 2, dropped back down to Conference National, then dropped down to Conference North, leapt up to League 1, where we signed him for Plymouth in League 1, came with us into the Championship, got as high as 3rd in the Championship before being disappointed to be knocked out in the playoffs, despite him being a superstar that season, playing for us in the playoffs and scoring loads of goals to get us to that point. I'm desperate for him to have his season in the Premier League, and it'll be with us next year, age 30, and he blooming deserves it. Despite all those awesome signings that we've already had, I think this guy might end up being signing of the summer. Jack Beale is a 23-year-old English striker who's got 2 goals in 1 appearance for the England under-21s. He's coming on a free and is already valued at £8.5 million. 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He is as good as Mark Foote and apparently better than Pablo Garcia. He's coming on a free transfer from West Brom. Why they would let him go, I don't know. He's been playing in the Championship or better, depending on how you view Rangers and the Premiership, Scottish Premiership. But he's played 161 games at this level of football or better and scored 78 goals. He's only 22, so he's already scoring a goal every other game at this level for various different teams. Why have none of these teams signed him? Why have West Brom not given him a go, just 1 game in the Premier League at some point? I don't understand it, but I'm really happy to have him. We can sell Mark Foote now, but we don't need to because we've triggered his 1-year extension, so he's around for another year anyway. Still on the transfer list at his own request. There's no pleasing some people. Then we race through a few of the youngsters. Max Benke is a 20-year-old German right-back with 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. He's another one who's come in on a free transfer, gone straight back out on loan again. He's at Frankfurt. Next summer, we have a look at him to see if he's any good. Ingo Brassas can play left wing back, left back, right back. He'll probably be our right back because we don't really have one. 3.5-star current ability and 3.5-star potential ability. He's another German who comes in. I think he's German. He's from, yeah, he's German. Comes in from Leipzig. Is that how you say that? Where he's played quite a lot of games, mainly for their B team. But you know, 200 games before the age of 23. That's not too shabby. We've got a reserve goalkeeper, Dario Hernandez, is 20-year-old Spanish goalkeeper with 1.5-star current ability but 5-star potential ability. Comes in on a free transfer from Manchester City to be our 3rd/4th choice keeper. This one's a good one. Josep Gilabert. Let me know in the comments how you say this guy's name. 24-year-old Spanish attacking midfielder, 3.5-star current and potential ability. He's better than Apoku and Lara by miles. Lara's back, by the way, on loan. And he comes in on a free transfer from Celtic, where he's been in and around the team. I mean, he's not ever played for them regularly, but he's been at Celtic for quite a long time. And now we've got him. It shows the kind of level we're currently expected to be at. We're pre-season prediction is mid-table. We shouldn't be scratching around trying to not get relegated, which is what it's been with both Southend and Plymouth when we've got into this league. That's why I'm hopeful that we can push for promotion with Ipswich. Last couple of signings, Morteza Abadi, 28-year-old Iranian. Again, I've probably said his name wrong. Let me know in the comments how to say it properly. 3.5-star current ability and potential ability. He's primarily a defensive midfielder, so if we want to play with a defensive midfielder, we've got him there as an option. Aaron O'Brien's back on loan again, by the way. We're probably going to play him in central midfield as an option for our central defensive midfielder. But Igor Ančić is another option there because he's now available to play, having signed on loan at Christmas, so he's another potential option. You remind yourself about him, and this is Abadi, been playing in Germany all his career, over 200 games. Should be a good one. And then we've just squeezed one last signing in yesterday. Another potential awesome goalkeeper, Ashley McKenna, 22 years old, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He's apparently as good as Stuart Murphy. Neither of them are as good as Kevin Thompson, who's back on loan for another year. I know how much you all love Kevin Thompson, but McKenna looks like he's got the potential to end up better than them both. And again, he's another one who's been playing regularly in the Scottish Premiership, as well as a little bit of experience. Actually, no, he's not. I think he's played 1 game in the Championship for West Ham like 3 years ago. So I'm really happy with that for summer transfer business. Let me know down in the comments what you think of it. If we have a look at the shape of our team now, this is the team that we're going to be playing today. Where do you think we still need to strengthen? I know you think we need a goalkeeper. I've signed 2. That's plenty. I like my young and hungry players. I would quite like to bring in a proper right back, but I've got no money left, so it's probably not going to happen now. But let me know what you think. And this is going to be our team for the first game of the season away against Brentford. So we've got Thompson in goal, a back 4 of Williams, Tanner, Gabrielli, who is now our captain, and Talak at right back. O'Brien, Anicic and Apoku make up the midfield with Gilbert, no one knows. In behind, Garcia and Beale today, with Jordan Todd and Mark Foot, probably both feeling a little bit aggrieved to be down on the bench, as Lara would be as well, to be honest, and quite a few of them. I mean, there's so many. This is such a good squad now. If we have a disappointing first day of the season, I'm going to be quite sad, because not only did we end last season really strongly, but we've improved the team massively since we did that. We've improved the team massively twice since we were last in the Championship just over a year ago. And towards the end of that run, we'd figured out how to win games in the Championship already. We were thrashing teams at the end of that season, and only narrowly got relegated in the end after being miles adrift when we arrived at the club. So even then, when we got relegated, we were good enough to survive in the Championship, I think. We've then had a great season where we improved the squad. We've improved the squad again this summer. We should, in theory, be a really, really top quality Championship team at this point, unless I'm just living in a fantasy world, which I guess we'll get a good indication of that against Brentford today. I think Brentford, as always in Football Manager, have spent a little bit of time up in the Premier League. I haven't looked to see how recently that was. They've probably been there for the last 15 years and I've not even checked, because we're going to go there and we're going to attack them and not get the ball, apparently. So perhaps they are a little bit better than we are. Perhaps we're a little bit outclassed today, maybe. But importantly, haven't conceded a goal while it was happening. Now we're going to go and nick one because we've got awesome strikers. What a goal that was as well. That went through Garcia, Beale and then Gilbert on his debut. I mean, the pace and precision of that attack was ridiculous. We've just done counter-attacking. I know we're on an attacking instruction, but that looked like a proper little fast-paced counter-attack. And look at that. One touch, beautiful football. What a finish. We're 1-0 up, away against a team we have no right to be beating. And it's completely against the run of play. We are 100% mugging them at the moment, and we just don't care, because if we can manage to pick up a win on our first day of the season, that's going to set us up brilliantly for the rest of the year. Anicic, that's the first time I've seen him touch the ball, making it all-important, tackle in midfield. And Apoku has just stuck it into the top corner to make it 2-0. I can live with this. This is... I mean, we've had good starts on the first day of the season before, and they don't always lead to a fantastic season. But I'm encouraged by the fact that certainly attacking-wise, we look fantastic. We're attacking with pace and flair, and the two finishes have both been outstanding. If we've managed to shore up the defence a little bit, which it's difficult to say because we've not been under a massive amount of pressure, despite Brentford controlling the game early on. Gilbert's in again. But we've not seen Thompson really have to make a proper save, and that would be my one area of concern. But, you know, we were a slow starter in this game and didn't concede a goal, whereas maybe this time last year we'd have been 1-0 down before our first goal went in. So, I don't know, perhaps encouraging signs. There you go, now we're 1-0. No, we're not 1-0 down, because we were already 2-0 up. But it's a typical goal that we always concede, and I know you're all going to tell me it's Thompson's fault. I'm not so sure it is. Cross comes in and, okay, he didn't really move. And I know we concede a lot of goals just like that, but I've had a lot of goalkeepers in Football Manager this year, and I haven't seen many of them who can handle that kind of attack properly. So I don't know if it's a Kevin Thompson thing or it's a match engine thing. I'd be interested in letting me know down in the comments how you find your goalkeepers in those kind of situations, because we score a lot of goals like that as well. I realise they've just scored and I'm trying to ignore it. They've just given us the old 1-2 punch either side of half-time, and from being all excited about how great we were, they've just showed a little bit of class and just thought, oh, actually, let's just go up a gear and just get 2 goals effectively in 2 minutes. and put us in our place a little bit. And yeah, we don't look as secure at the back as I'd hoped we might. Garcia finds Beale. We've not seen much of Beale yet, although he wasn't involved in that first goal. Tholarp with a chance to cross. Instead finds Anicic to O'Brien. Garcia, Gillibert. We're moving it around quickly again. O'Brien to Opoku. Tholarp can't quite get there, but we're closing him down, and Garcia is in, because that's what Pablo Garcia does. Give the man a chance anywhere near the penalty area, and it is going to end up in the back of the net. Oh, that's encouraging. If he can be a top quality poacher in this league as well. I mean, it was the easiest of easy chances, but it's a nice little nerve settler, and hopefully he'll go on to be an absolute superstar at this level as well. We turned down £2.5 million from Udinese for him in the summer, and I agonised over it for a little bit, because at that point we'd already signed Beale, and I was thinking, well, we could have Beale and Foot up front, and we could probably afford to lose him. So I was gambling a little bit on hopefully him just being absolutely brilliant, which hopefully that's what he'll turn out to be. We can't bring Lara on as well. We're going to bring Gajovic on. We haven't seen Gajovic for ages, but with a few of the midfielders who've sort of churned through the team a little bit, we might see a little bit more of him. He has got bags of potential. He was around before I got here. He was one of the more promising youngsters that we had at the time, played plenty of championship football for us before. So I want to see a little bit more of him this year. This is going to be the year where he either establishes himself in the first team, or we decide we're not going to keep him. So it's make or break for Gajovic, and Garcia gets his second of the game. We're now 4-2 up. Still not top of the league, because Middlesbrough are apparently scoring goals for fun, or probably just not conceding as many as we are. Beale heavily involved again. It's another simple of simple finishes for Garcia, but no one cares. We moaned at him a lot last year for missing the simple chances. He's basically had 2 chances today and scored them both. So if that's a precedent he's setting for himself, I can get on board with that. We're going to take off Tanner and bring on Powell for the last 10 minutes. We're not going to go counter-attacking. We're not going to go defensive. We're 4-2 up against a team who by rights should be much better than we are. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and going to try to score another goal. If they score 2 goals in the last 7 minutes, fair play to him. Is that Matt Mantum, as in my Matt Mantum from Plymouth? He would have been a good signing to pick up over the summer, but I guess he went there. Instead, Plymouth got relegated last year, by the way. I can't remember if I've mentioned that. They were awful, so serves him right for sacking me, really. There you go. We have had a very successful first game of the season. Hopefully, plenty more of that to come. Oh, I feel it in my water. It's going to be a good season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you pop a like on there for me. Let's have another one where we get loads of likes. Let's have at least 500 likes to celebrate the start of a new season and a commitment that we're going to end up in the Premier League by the end of it. Finally. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thanks very much for watching.